So it's been a couple weeks, and the Saga of the Blue Eyes White Destiny structure deck. I think Saga of the Blue Eyes was the old one. The Blue Eyes White Destiny structure deck has come out. Let's see, the OTS Championship is this weekend, and I recently did a deck profile on a more budget-friendly Blue Eyes deck for you guys, and then I said if we got 50 likes, I'd actually play it in the Back to Basics series. So what we're going to do is for locals this week, we're going to actually play it, and then potentially even for the OTS Championship, we'll play it. Just in case, though, I'm going to change up some stuff because I think the one that I was playing before is a bit more generic. And while that's really good, I'm going to try to specify it more for my local. So we're going to go ahead and change some of the cards in here. I have the exact deck list that I actually showed you guys, though, right here. We're going to go ahead and show you some of the changes I'm going to make for locals and see how it goes tonight. All right, so we just finished building the deck. I'm going to go through all of the deck list really quick and explain pretty quick the ideas that I have behind it. So for starters, we have 1/1, 3 Maiden, 3 Black Metal, 3 Sage, and 3 Wishes. These are all the starter cards. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but 13 is a very respectable number. Just for a point of comparison, Ryzeal only has 12 if they don't play Prosperity. I have opted to not play Prosperity currently. I could cut 1/1 for it. In fact, I might. I think I'm going to, actually. I like that idea better. We're going to do this live. We're going to play Prosperity instead of 1/1. The reason for this is simply that Prosperity can help me dig for more important resources than a 1/1 can get me to. 1/1 does get me to Black Metal more easily, but I don't think that it's necessarily about seeing Black Metal. I think it's just about seeing any of these starters. Prosperity can also get you to Black Metal by seeing 6 deep, so that is worth noting. Then for the utility cards, with the Wishes, we have Ultimate Fusion, Majesty of the White Dragons, Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons, Mausoleum of White, True Light, and then 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons as well. These are the Blue Eyes utility cards as well as the actual garnets of the deck. The reason for the inclusion of Ultimate Fusion is specifically that I can recycle Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres to go into Tyrant Burst, or to Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, which I really like a lot. I think it's Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon? Yeah. I like that idea a lot. I also just like Ultimate Fusion being able to be another board wipe. So they'll play around the Majesty, they might not necessarily see the Ultimate Fusion coming, or they'll play around the Fusion, they won't see the Majesty coming. So having that second searchable board wipe is going to be really beneficial. Then we have Max Metal Morph, Red Eyes Darkest Metal Dragon, and the Red Eyes Black Full Metal Dragon. This is just to make the Black Metal package really solid. What it does then is, if you didn't see the video before, you can normal summon Black Metal Dragon, link into Blue Eyes, or Spirit with Eyes of Blue, search for both the Field Spell and the Red Eyes Darkest Metal Dragon. You banish the Spirit, special summon Red Eyes, bring back the Black Metal Dragon, and then you just link directly into Heavenly Spheres, which then you can search for the Black Metal Dragon, or the Black Full Metal Dragon, and then you use Full Metal to set Max Metal Morph. Now, no matter what happens, not only are you insulated from Nibiru thanks to the Spheres, but when the Seals goes to the graveyard and special summons out a giant dragon, preferably your Magnemite, to search for follow-up, you will then be able to grab Black Full Metal Dragon from the deck, and that will then get you an Omni Negate that does burn damage, which will also help with time. Then for the non-engine, I have 3 Ash, 3 Valor, 3 Nibiru, 3 Imperm, 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, the 1 Magnemite, and then 3 Solemn Strike. So this gives us 6, 9, 12, 15 hand traps, as well as 3 bomb negation cards. I like Solemn Strike better than Crossout Designator because while Strike doesn't give me the same ability to play as aggressively, it does give me more coverage into certain matchups and also just blanks cards like White Binder entirely. Ghost Ogre is going to be an interesting inclusion because I think a lot of people aren't going to play around it correctly. It will also be really good to punish people with their Mausoleum of Whites. Then for the extra deck, we've got Neo, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, Azure Eyes, Lightstorm, 2 Blue Eyes Spirit Dragons, and then the Moonlight Dragon as well. I think this is just the best utility that I can get offered right now. I don't think that the extra synchros really make a lot of sense, and I just want these 2 to be the tag outs for the Spirit Dragons beyond these 2. Like, these are 2 utility ones at least. Then we have Typhon for just those like kind of random clutch moments. Typhon backed up with a Solemn Strike after using a bunch of hand traps is actually just game breaking for a lot of decks, so I think that that's going to be really good. And we have 2 Spirit with Eyes of Blue, 2 Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. This is primarily because I'm not totally sure how realistic the recycle with my Ultimate Fusion is going to be. So I want to have the second Spheres because I think that playing a more mid-rangey version, you're going to get to grinding games where the second Spheres is going to come up. And then you have SP and then Lina. Lina is really just there to get into SP, or Lina is there to get you into a Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon to negate their graveyard effects. It's really not going to be anything like crazy, although I did consider playing an access code talker package instead. That was an option that I had been mulling over. For the side deck, we have 2 Quackimero Dragos. This is primarily for Malice and the Mirror Match. In the Mirror Match, it means that I can go into Spheres, and then I can simply bounce their card, and knowing that I have the Drago means that they simply just won't get to play, because I can just summon this in defense position. And even though I can't summon lights or darks, I can't summon light or dark monsters either, it is going to be much easier for me to play around that than it is for them. I can very easily just let this die. The only thing that it is there for is to just prevent them from playing for a turn or 2, and then I get to play. I'm setting the Blue Eyes Jet Dragon for Ryzeal primarily, although it may come out for the 3rd Drago after tomorrow. We'll have to see how it goes. And then for Malice, I'm playing 3 Phantasme, 3 Lancia, and 3 Chaos Hunters. And then the last card we play is 3 Solemn Judgments, just so that way when I go first, I have the 6 Solemn cards in my deck. And I think that backing up a card like Drago with 6 Solemns, or a card like Spirit Dragon with 6 Solemns, is just going to be enough to absolutely win games. So that's the deck. I'm going to go sleeve it up, and we'll have to see how Locals goes. Locals is over. We finished 3-1 with the Metalmorph Blue Eyes deck. It actually performed very well. Round 1, I played in the Metalmorph Blue Eyes Mirror with somebody who knows me. He's a pretty good guy. Game 1, I won the die roll, and I just opened up like insane, so he couldn't really do anything. You guys are seeing it on screen. Game 2, he ended up going first, and it opened up pretty comparably insane. I couldn't really keep up with it, so I scooped that up. And then game 3, I just outgrinded him really hard. Tyrant Dragon puts in a lot of work. That's a card I had mentioned wanting to play multiple of in the past, and I think that might be correct going forward. Game 2, or round 2, I played against Mitsurugi Ryzeal, and I lost pretty quickly. It just came down to game 3. He opened up better than I did, and I couldn't do anything. Round 3, I played against Fire King as Amina with the Snake Eyes card still. And game 1, I looped Spirit Dragon, and he couldn't keep up with that. Game 2, he couldn't. I couldn't break his board at all. He had set up the Ilya Sylvia and Kirin, so I couldn't do anything through that, which is unfortunate. Game 3, though, ended up taking 20 minutes. It was a pretty intense grind game where it was really back and forth, and what it came down to was me using Ultimate Fusion to put back Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, so I could then summon it again off my second Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, so I was looping them to negate his graveyard effects like Princess and Kirin. I also had Blue Eyes Jet Dragon in the side deck like you guys saw, and that put in a lot of work because it meant that Princess couldn't destroy my cards besides the Jet Dragon, and I kept using Spirit Dragon to negate that, to protect the Jet Dragon, to protect everything else from being destroyed by card effects. So that was really good. And then round 4, I played against Invoked Blue Eyes. Game 1, I just opened up really strong, the full combo plus a bunch of hand traps. It was too quick. Game 2, however, we both brick pretty hard. He has to normal summon Effect Veiler to go into his Spirit with Eyes of Blue. I Veiler that, and then on my turn I normal summon, or I activate Maiden to place True Light. I use True Light's effect, he ogres it, I pass. He swings with Spirit Dragon, I draw, pass back, he swings again, I pass back, and I start to play. He has another ogre, another Veiler. It's super back and forth, but then eventually I end up getting enough engine to be able to push through everything, and he just couldn't keep up, so we ended up winning that match. So we are 3-1 with the deck. We'll have to see how it goes tomorrow at Locals. I doubt I'm going to play this for the OTS Championship. There's a slim chance that I do, but I still think Ryzeal is probably the way to go. Locals is done. It is the last local before the OTS Championships this weekend, and I actually went undefeated, winning another box of Supreme Darkness for my efforts. And I did it with the Metamorph Blue Eyes deck, and so we're going to go ahead and open this, and I'll go through the box as I discuss the 4 rounds that I played. I went 4-0 with the exact Metamorph Blue Eyes deck that I played last night, where I went 3-1, and it went pretty solid. Round 1 was against another Blue Eyes Metamorph deck, actually. Ended up winning the die roll, and I won game 1 by doing, Seal Spirit with some traps, just kind of outgrinding with the Metamorph negate, because that really was pushing a lot of advantage that way, which is really solid. Game 2, he used his Crossout Designator in the incorrect order, leaving him with his Call by the Grave for Ash Blossom. He ended up using Crossout on it. He should have used Call by the Grave on the Ash Blossom, and then used Crossout Designator on the follow-up play, but he did it in the wrong order, so he got punished pretty heavily for that misplay, meaning that I could easily grind out from there. Then round 2, I played against Malice Bestial, won that die roll as well. It was a quick 2-0. I won game 1 with the Full Metal package, outgrinding, and then leaning on Hermetic Seal of Heavenly Spheres with the trap cards and things like that, just kind of accruing resources. I used Ultimate Fusion to dodge a Bestial, which was pretty cool. He used, I think it was Druid Swarm to target like my Blue Eyes or something, and I just chained Ultimate Fusion, returned the one in Grave, and then I missed out on the Destruction, but that was fine because I got to special summon the Tyrant and prevent the Bestial from being summoned, which is really good. Game 2, he opened up, oh man, clean. I'm so tired of this set. I opened up Lancia, shutting off the Tessie Cat, and then just proceeded to like really accrue a bunch of resources. And then on my turn, I actually tribute summoned for Chaos Hunter. So then he ran into that and wasn't able to use his Druid Swarm that was in hand. Round 3, I played against Fiendsmith Ryziel, and I lost that die roll. So I go, okay, for Secret Saruya. I go second, end up using a couple of hand traps, and then I end up making Spheres, Spirit Dragon after breaking his board, and then proceeded to use Spirit Dragon to negate like the Fiendsmith stuff, and the Fiendsmith of Paradise is really good. And then game 2 actually had me go first. He drew fairly poorly into my field where I just kind of established everything. Because in the Ryzo matchup, I literally only take out Test Bear, good card. In the Fiendsmith match, or just Ryzo matchups in general, I only take out like 1 Nibiru for a copy of Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. So I have that to utilize later on. And so that just kind of overwhelmed them there. And then round 4, I played against Goblin Biker Fiendsmith. Lost that die roll again. Hey, Molten Meows, awesome. I have not pulled one of those yet, so that's really good. That's exciting. It's a pretty darn good pull for a pretty darn cheap deck. Round 4, I played against Goblin Biker Fiendsmith. Lost that die roll again. Game 1, and Eclipse Twins. Man, this is pretty solid. Game 1, he had to emergency teleport for a Psychic and then normal summon his Ash. So then when he went into the Goblin Biker, I used my copy of Ash Blossom to shut that Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon. It's a good card. 3 packs left. Can't complain. We got a Meowls, so that's pretty solid. Anyways, my Ash locked him down, and then I, pretty quickly won after that. Then round 2, or game 2, he ended up breaking really hard. And so did I, actually. It ended up being like multiple turns and me just attacking his Blue Eyes White Dragon. And that ended up actually winning the game, because I just could pump out damage last pack. Nothing. Well, we can't really complain. We got a Meowls, which is really good. A Saruya. You know, honestly, compared to the last couple boxes that I've opened of this set for this series, I cannot complain because I just didn't get another Argistar, so I'm fine with that. And getting the Meowls is pretty good, even though I don't plan on playing any more Charmies. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So we'll probably use this deck in the OTS Championship as well, since it's going pretty well overall. And let's see what happens there. So tomorrow we have the first OTS Championship. I am actually judging that one, so there'll be no footage of that one. I'm not sure that I'll be recording the second one either. We'll kind of have to see how it goes. But let's see how the deck performs. I think I'm just going to stick with Blue Eyes. As much as I want to play Ryzeal again, I've just been having too much fun with Blue Eyes. It's been nice to play that deck again, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. We'll see you next time, or see you in the next segment for the follow-up to this recap. All right, so today is the OTS Championship for Supreme Darkness. We're going to get packed up and get going. I'm actually going to play the budget Blue Eyes deck that you guys have seen me play because it was just so fun. I had to give it a shot, and let's see if we can win a second OTS Championship with it. I don't know if I'll have any gameplay footage because it's pretty hard to want to record when I'm really trying to focus, but if I do, that'll be great. Otherwise, I will have a much more comprehensive breakdown of each match than I have been, because I'm going to take notes after each match just in case. Let's see if we can end Season 1 of Back to Basics with a second OTS win. All right, the OTS Championship is done. Unfortunately, didn't really have any time to record anything. It was just a busy day. It was 5 rounds of Swiss and then top 8 cut, which was bigger than I expected it to be because there was another one nearby, or relatively nearby, that I thought, you know, would probably have more people. And we ended up it ended up being pretty evenly divided. But I ended up going, what was it, 5-0 in Swiss, and then ended up losing in top 4. So we'll just kind of go through the rounds really quick here. It was the same list as I showed you guys before. The only change is that I put in Droll Mockbird for the Quacky Mirror Dragos and the Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. And the reason for that was simply because I felt that Mitsurugi Ryzeal and the mirror match might command more respect than I was giving them. So we made that switch, and it went pretty well. Didn't really miss Drago at all, and Jet Dragon wouldn't have been like terribly good, so it's fine. So let's go through the rounds. Round 1, I played against Pure Ryzeal, won the die roll, opened up just like the pretty standard combo with Spheres, Spirit Dragon, and a couple trap cards. Couldn't do anything game 1, so he just kind of died. And then game 2, he, or no, I didn't open up the combo. I actually bricked game 1. I opened up 3 Nibirus, a True Light, and an Effect Veiler. I ended up setting the True Light and passing. He normal summoned Ice, and I Effect Veilered it. I think I Effect Veilered it or something. And then ended up activating True Light to set Wishes, and then OTK'd him. And then game 2, he didn't open up particularly well, and I opened up just like the stones, like Wishes, Maiden, just everything, so that was really quick. Round 2 was against Bestial. Malice, game 1, I opened up with an okay combo, nothing like too crazy. But then game 2, I Shotgun Lanceit and then OTK'd, which was, like, there just wasn't much to say about those matches. Round 3, I played against Mitsurugi Ryzeal, and ended up just out grinding. It was a really hard match, but it was a lot of grinding and a lot of making sure to hold my Spirit Dragon graveyard negations and things like that for his graveyard effects. He didn't open up like especially well in either game. It was like very average, so there was that. That's where the Drolls would have come in as well, but luckily didn't need them. And then round 4, I played against Malice again. Game 1 was very quickly over. I just opened up pretty ridiculous. I opened up like a bunch of hand traps and Sage to stop his normal summon, and then I just come it off to kill him. And then game 2, I opened up Chaos Hunter and Lancia. So I Lancia'd him on my turn, on his turn. On my turn, I did my setup, and then in the end phase, he summoned Baldrake, banishing my Blue Eyes from my graveyard. So then I Chaos Huntered, so that he just couldn't have any banishing going into his turn. So that was unfortunate for him. And then round 5, I played against Catapult Turtle FTK. And the whole idea was that you would summon a rank 8, you'd summon Zombie Master, or Zombie Vampire, and then you'd get to a Draglubion with like your Horus cards, and then you use Draglubion to summon Neuron Dragon. You'd use Neuron Dragon to boost by the 17 ranks, so it'd be 17,000, and then you tribute summon for Catapult Turtle, tribute the Neuron, and you do 8,500 damage. That was the idea. They were undefeated, or they were X1 heading into the last round. It's the only undefeated. Game 1, I opened up not very well. I think I ended up passing a couple back row, but I had Valor and like the Majesty Trap, and I think Ogre, so he just couldn't do anything. His FTK fell apart, and then game 2 he bricked, and I just opened up pretty great. So that was pretty awesome. Finished first place in Swiss. Then top 8, I played against Pure Ryziel. It was very much the same story, just kind of outgrinding, utilizing the roar of the blue-eyed dragons a lot today was the big thing, and just kind of went out from there. And then in top 4, I just could not keep up with Pure Ryziel. My luck ran out, which was unfortunate. I ended up using Strike at one point, wore him down. I needed him to not have an extra normal summon, and he had the Ice Ryziel, so I lost, unfortunately. And then he ended up winning the event, so that's pretty great. And all of top 4 was actually players from the other local that I go to, so we all did really well. It was exciting to see, because I think they all needed their invite or something like that, so it was pretty nice. But that was the OTS Championship, and that was back to basics. We've, over the course of the last like 3 months, really worked hard on like learning different decks. We did Salamangreat, we did Sky Striker, we did we did Azumina, Snake Eye, Fire King. Spent a lot of the time working on Ryziel and Ryziel variants and really honing in on technical play with that. And then at the end here, we've even done Blue Eyes, so it's been great. It's been great to see a lot of the growth, and some of the stuff that still needs to be worked on, like deck building, and I think a lot of it just comes down to like practice. But we will be back for season 2. Just gonna make a couple of changes and see what happens. I'm thinking that for season 2, we're gonna do a bit more restrictive in like what I'm able to get, since I want to make it more kind of in tune with like you guys growing with me, and not me just like having access to like insert new deck every week here. So let me know down below what you want to see, and thank you so much for following along, because this has been a long endeavor, but it's been a lot of fun, so I can't wait to do season 2. Thanks.